You're like a film director and everything, but you're not used to the cameras and lights, are you?
Yeah, I'm used to the lights. It's just like
Put your mic.
speaking
Put your mic. Yeah.
is is a fear.
Really? Why?
Just like failure, you know.
Failure?
But you might say something stupid or contradict yourself.
I think it just depends on like the context it's being said. You know.
True.
I don't know. Failure's like so funny because I feel like we all need to fail so many times. I'm sure for you to do your films and stuff, you started somewhere, and didn't like it, and then you edited and edited and edited.
It all came from a place of fear, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just checking something.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wall of Friends podcast, where we talk to our friends, ask them what inspires them, what scares them, and more. With you, your host, George.
And William.
And on today's episode, we have a filmmaker, director, one of the upcoming young stars of Arkansas, and his name is...
David Cruz.
David Cruz. How are you?
Hello.
How are you, bro?
Doing good, man. A little tired, but I'm making it.
Yeah, you were just telling us you just got off of some like kickboxing lessons or all that stuff.
Shout out to Westside MMA.
Yeah, shout out to Westside.
I'm not very good, but it gets the job done.
How long ago did you started?
Like September of last year.
Yeah.
I just like drove past it and saw the lettering, and I was like, oh, I need to lose some weight. So, no, it's great though. The people there are very humble, and then the guy who runs the gym, Rolly, is really cool. And then they got some UFC talent there too.
Yeah, for sure. What made you? Yeah, I guess being like. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up in California. I don't remember too much, but I remember early on I had a fascination for movies. Like my parents would take us to the to Universal Studios and whatnot, and I would see like the Jurassic Park ride, but I realized I enjoyed going to the movies more than like theme parks.
Okay.
So like he would take us to these crazy movie theaters in Los Angeles, and then from there we moved to Tennessee. That's when my dad was learning upholstery.
Okay.
And then from there we were kind of lonely in Tennessee, so we went straight to Arkansas, where we've been ever since. And I remember my parents buying this old computer, just super old, and I would just watch movie trailers all the time.
Were you born in Cali?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
It was fun. I could tell it was expensive, man. That food was too pricey.
Were you So would you consider yourself an Arkansas native boy or?
I mean, yeah, it's the only language I speak. I mean, I've been here my whole life. I've been here since like 8. So, I mean, I don't remember much from Cali, just faint memories.
Okay. So and that fascination for movie led you to just going to film school, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to go at first, you know. When I went to Bryant High School, I liked movies, but I didn't like have the confidence to do anything, or I didn't know what to do. So I would just experiment, and I really kind of half-assed. Like they had like an AV club or something, and I didn't really care too much. I just wanted to like get my hands on a camera. Then turns out I got my hands on a camera like the year after intro class, and it was fun, but I just didn't have like that kick in me. I was like, I don't know. I guess it all kind of depended in the bubble that was there, and it wasn't that strong. Well, you know, the sense that I got, there wasn't a lot of passionate individuals. There were some, but not. And I went to Euler. I was just half-assing it too. And they had a film program, which I hated because like, one thing I learned about Euler though is they'll just give you a camera like when I started, it was just like you took your first intro class. So one of your first assignments was just giving you a camera.
They like gifted you one.
No, just like go out and film, figure it out, go shoot a movie. That was
By yourself without like no.
Yeah, and then by yourself at some points, and then it was like, here's a random. We're gonna assign you with this class member and whatever. But I made like really movies. Sorry, am I allowed to curse?
Well, I mean, you can't. I'll just edit them out.
Okay. I made really bad movies, which I was like, man, I'm a horrible filmmaker. Like, this is just terrible. But thanks to that, I was like, okay, I know what not to do, because I was watching the stuff over and over again. I was like, man, I've been studying my whole life. When I was younger, I was studying, and then once I finally made it, it was just like really bad. And I was just like, I don't know if this is for me. I remember coming out of class and walking to my car one day, and I was just, it was like my first short film. And I was like, wow, this was just so bad. It was the worst experience ever. I was like, I'm never doing this again. I was just thinking the whole time what my backup plan was, and I didn't have one. And I was like, oh. But then went back to class. We made a second movie, and it also sucked. And I was just like, man. But it was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just like by 1 inch. But I didn't realize that at the moment. And then we made another one. It was like slightly better, but it was still really bad. And then at the end of the semester, I was like, man, I just suck. I just suck. Even though it was only like 6 months.
Yeah.
But then after a while, like the professors were kind of just playing like YouTube videos and stuff. I was like, I'm not gonna learn from this. So I applied at UCA, which is a great film school, probably the best in the state. And then right away, it's just like you were meeting people who were just really involved, and I was getting on more film sets and learning things. And then I made my first short. It won a couple awards, and then made a second one. And then by the time I was a senior, this is my 5th year of college. I was like, well, I didn't want to make my thesis film because I was like, first of all, what if I don't get picked? Because they have to pick. Only like 4 projects get picked.
What's a thesis film, if you don't mind explaining on that?
It's just like your capstone project, like your final. It's it could be a short film, a proof of concept. It can be a pilot for a TV show. It just all depends what you write. And then the class they vote, but it's a popularity contest sometimes.
Okay.
So, but I was just like, I really don't want to do a thesis film, because I was like scared, because I'd rather just shoot a movie, and then I can leverage. I want to have like a leverage point.
What do you mean leverage?
Like I wanted to make an actual film.
Okay.
So I could get somewhere, get a job.
Oh,
have
okay.
some leverage.
Gotcha.
You were tired
if I make a short film, it's just you're only gonna get so far. So I was like, even if this movie sucks that I'm making, even if it sucks, like
you can sell it
at
somewhere.
At least I tried. Or
Yeah.
if it sucks, I'll
You know where to improve too.
Yeah. So I was just like, I'm not gonna sit around and wait till I'm like 30. I'm just gonna like make it, and then if it doesn't go well, then that's just what it is. And then that's kind of where I am now, where I'm just trying to finish it up.
Oh, so are you still doing your your senior capstone thing?
No. So okay, sorry, I skipped a lot. But I graduated, and actually, you want me to talk about the whole senior year? And
Yeah, it talks about the experience of what it takes to be one of the top of the line filmmakers.
But
Or are we still in the trenches?
still in the trenches, man. I'm just trying to survive.
No, but you know what? Someday you're gonna be what's it called, Steven Spielberg, right?
I guess.
And then you're gonna, and right here on the wall of friends, we knew you had that in you.
Well, this is my first podcast.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Hey, you're doing great so far.
Hey, I appreciate you
got first
coming.
dibs.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, so like my last summer, I say it's I was just like, okay, so I was writing the script, and then I was like, I gotta raise this much money, and then I got my friend Luis. Shout out to Luis. He was the first person I went to, and he's like, yeah, I'm down. He's a really good dude. He's actually working on his movie now. It's gonna be in Spanish too. They're gonna start shooting next year, but.
Hey, they need actors. We got you.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'll have you in mind if they.
I mean, sure, why not? I'm down.
Dude, literally for this movie, we used every tia, like family member. Bro, I'm not kidding.
For this movie, speak English.
Do you remember my uncle?
Yeah.
Beto.
Alberto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called him a week before we started shooting, I was like, "Yo, I need a pastor. Can you?" And he's like, "I got you, bro." And he flew. You know, he drove down. You know, he showed up with the fit and the Bible, and I gave him the lines, but I told him to improvise, and
Yeah.
we just started rolling, and he was just doing his thing. I didn't give him much notes. You know, he killed it. And then Kevin was in it. Remember Kevin?
Kevin,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah,
we remember
Kevin was in
Kevin. Yeah.
But yeah, but before my senior, like my senior classes started, I was kind of in motion of, you know, all the pieces were together, like most of the team was assembled. So then when that whole first semester of my senior year, I was miserable because I was just like trying to catch up with classes and make this movie. And we were trying to raise money, and we got some investors to pitch in, which is terrifying. But we shot November and December of 2020,
Yeah.
and then we still needed a lot to shoot, so we were gonna resume in 2021 last year, and that's where we shot most of the movie. But that was my last semester in my senior year, and yeah, it was tough, man. Like it was just It was tough mostly because doing school and trying to shoot a movie at the same time is the worst idea possible. Like it is just you know.
So what
takes
is it?
A toll, man.
What goes into shooting a movie?
A lot. I mean, it also too. It's like how prepared are you? Is the, you know, and there's so many elements involved that I probably can't even talk about in the podcast. There's just so many things that you have to do, so many boxes you have to check. Also too, it's like if you write a very complicated script, you're gonna shove yourself in a corner, right? Because the bigger it is, or the more elements you have in it, the harder it is gonna be to shoot. You know, there's people who their first movie has a lot of visual effects, and they end up having to spend X amount of money because it's very VFX heavy. But in this case, and I should have talked about it earlier. So when I was writing the script, it was like, I was like, all right, I'm going to make my $3 movie. Basically, like, I'm going to just write what I have access to. So at the time, I was like, I knew my mom was going to be in it. I knew my dad was going to be in it. And then other things started coming down to it. I had this one part for this one guy named Emilio, who he was going to be like the guy they smuggled into the country.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, like, how am I going to find, you know, a Spanish speaking role in Arkansas? You know, this bubble's already so small. So I found this one dude who was like, I think he was in theater at the time. His name was Rudy. I forgot his last name, but Rudy is my dude.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in any short films, but that dude was amazing. Like he just had, he had everything. Like the look, he had a great voice. And once I found him, I was like, I was just, you know, a lot more like laid back. I was like, okay, so I have those guys, and then the locations was like, what did I have access to? We had the mobile home back in Alexander, so I wrote it to that, and then we have my dad's shop, and he does upholstery. So at first, I was like, the part was for a mechanic, and then I realized, why would I write it for a mechanic if my dad does upholstery and he has everything in the warehouse already? I'll just, you know, the character will be an upholsterer, and then that way it'll be more authentic.
Right.
And then that way it'll look more expensive. Like, oh wow, they rented this huge warehouse and put material everywhere. Like,
yeah.
oh, what happened? But yeah, it was free. The only thing was we could only film on Sundays. So yeah, the shop scenes only on Sundays, because on Saturday, you know, Monday through Saturday, people were working, blasting their music.
Yeah.
It was just miserable. So Sundays, it was even tough on Sundays too, because some workers would go in and start blasting music and washing their cars. Like I was just like, really? But
So how long did it
It's
take?
like, really, you're working on a Sunday? I'm trying to work on a Sunday.
How long did it take to make that short movie?
or the whole thing?
Yeah.
So we started filming November of 2020, and then we finished May 30th of 2021. There were a lot of gaps, but overall, a little bit over 20 official shooting days where we had like cast and crew, 20 days. And then there was like some days where I was like, oh my God, we need to do this. Like my mom needs to do the scene where she's sewing. So me and my homies, like he'd come over, and we would just 2-man crew it. And then there was also, I didn't have any VFX, but I had a stop motion animation. Like, so we had like this one guy make, like some stop motion animation with paper, and it was really cool. But it took forever to film, so I had to flip every single page and film it, and then edit it by frames, and it was just, oh my god, it took forever, but it looks great. I was really happy how it turned out. And then there was like, in between the shoot, I went to Mexico and I wrote some scenes in Mexico, but they were like too expensive. Like, this happens, and then there's a big group of people, and then I realized, I was like, okay, well, I'll bring my camera to Mexico. I'll see what happens. I'm just gonna see if I can film, and if I can't, I'll just take it out of the script. And I realized that my dad, this was the first time him seeing his family in like 30 years, I think 28, 30 years. And they made like this huge like party for him, so much alcohol, and they killed like 25 chickens just for the arrival of my dad, which is crazy. I was like, maybe someday I'll have that, someone will kill 25 chickens for me. But dude, it was crazy, man. And then I was like, you know what? This is the party scene in the movie. Like, I'll just shoot this. I was like, it doesn't need to be fancy. Whatever I got, so I'll just.
That's
did you
awesome.
shoot it off a phone, or did you bring equipment with you?
I brought my 6K camera with me, which I was terrified, because I was like, what if it doesn't go through customs? Or they're like, we're going to have to hold it or throw it away. I was terrified. So I put it in my suitcase. I put a bunch of clothes on top of it. We were good. But I broke one of my lenses, which sucked. But that's kind of,
Yes.
But no, I went straight to Mexico. I pulled it out. I was about to start filming, and they were like, Mexico City. My aunts were like, no, you can't do that. You're crazy. You just can't go out and film.
Yeah.
They're gonna take it. Someone ran a car through her little grocery store, like a couple months before that. So they're like, no, you can't go anywhere. I was like, okay, fine. So I have to wait till we went to Chiapas, which is a lot safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just filming away. There was a role for a little kid. I needed him to do a couple things, and he I don't know who he was. I was just like, hey, do you want to do this movie? But he was in the little pueblo that my dad was from. You want to do this movie? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he's just showing me around. I was like, all right, just do this. We went to a creek. He's like, all right, just grab this shirt here. He's like, okay, cool. And then I realized the dude's like, we're related. Like, I had no clue. He was like my cousin.
Your cousin?
I was like, whoa, that's cool, man. So like after the shoot, I just gave him like 100 pesos. And that's the last time I saw him, man. He's in the movie. He didn't sign a contract, so he might sue me if he comes to the States.
That's funny.
We'll see.
So when earlier you were saying like you were shooting short films at Euler, and they were kind of wacky, and then you shoot them again, they were kind of wacky, but then you transferred to UCA, and then you shot one short film, and you say you won a couple of awards. Would you want to?
They were just like UCA awards. It wasn't anything like serious. It was just kind of like a pat on the back, like, oh, you had made this short. Here you go.
So do you think those like times that you are trying to attempt a good short film and they came out wacky actually gave you the experience you needed to actually have something worth of just getting recognized at your next school?
I mean, yeah, it was the only reason I would really do them, like the awards I really didn't care about. It was, how can this get me to the next place, or who can I meet so I can make my next project, things like that.
Yeah.
But
so what's like, do you ever get writer's block?
yeah, I have writer's block right now. I had some for like a month, and then I started writing yesterday. It was tough. It was like a tough month, but I think having a break is good for everyone. So,
yeah.
I mean, even taking the arts away, just.
So whenever you have like those like blocks or whatever, how do you do to like get creative again too? And
I'll exercise, and I think for me, but also too, I heard recently. I don't know if you know Robert Eggers, or he did The Northman, The Witch, The Lighthouse.
I'm sure I've seen some of
But
those
his
films.
process is sort of like when I get writer's block, I just like do more research, and a lot of people don't do research because it requires work. But he just does research, like just reads articles for days, weeks, months, until he just gets little bits and pieces. So I've been starting to do that too. Like the thing I'm writing right now is kind of on diabetes and like the diabetes epidemic in Chiapas.
Well, that we actually do have a diabetes epidemic here in Little Rock with the Hispanic people.
Well, I need to talk to some people then.
Actually, I know someone who you may want to be interested in
Yeah,
talking
I'm down,
about.
man. No, I'm right now
No,
is
he's
my
a-
research stage, so I'll talk to whoever.
Yeah, he's actually like he works for the Arkansas Health Department, and he's a medic or whatever. And that's funny you say that because my dad, he talked to my dad yesterday about starting like a project or whatever about how people should take care more of their body because
Yeah.
of this that diabetic epidemic going on.
This one's a little bit different, I guess. It's not like one of those movies where I'm writing a TV show right now, so it's not kind of like don't do this, it's bad kind of situation. You know, it's more like it's kind of making fun of it at the idea that you can stop something that people will never stop eating sugary treats no matter what. We're like born into it. That's what born into these habits.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess you can still talk to him if you want to.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down. The thing is, too, I'm probably not going to tell him the whole thing. I'll just tell him I'm doing research.
No, yeah. So, what's the hardest thing you've have had to deal with? Just trying to be a producer. Are you like the only Are you the only Hispanic?
No, there's
person?
a couple. There's my producer Luis. He's doing a lot of things too. He's doing his own movie that he's shooting next year. Then I'm gonna be producing this zombie wrestling movie next year. And the guy, he's Latino. He's Samir. He's from Texarkana.
Samir, you say?
Samir Arellano. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. He's doing his movie next year too. So at UCA, it was kind of like our trio. It was like we were like the only Latinos there.
Yeah.
Really. So it was cool. We had like our own little bubble. But now the dynasty is over, I guess.
No, I guess it just continues, right?
Yeah, I mean.
To the next stage.
I mean, I'm saying at UCA, like once we left, it was like we didn't see any more Hispanics there.
Oh, really?
For real?
Well, it was weird because I know it's cool too because UCA is it's actually very diverse. So you get a lot of cool students.
Yeah.
From like all over the world. Like I remember there was like 4 Japanese students when we left, and they were like all working on each other's stuff. I was like, that's so cool, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But we were like, at that point in time when I was there, we had like 3 or 4 Latinos, and we were like
help each other out.
Yeah, we would help each other out, and then once we left, whatever's next. I don't know. I don't keep up with the school anymore, but
I gotcha.
So how was it filming like during the pandemic?
Bro, it sucked, man. It sucked because also too, I told myself this before I started filming. Like I kept telling myself this every day, like especially summer of 2020. I was like, this production is gonna stop at some point. Like something bad is gonna happen, and you just gotta accept that because it is the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, bad stuff is gonna happen. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It's just there was like 2 shooting weekends where we couldn't shoot, 2 or 3 because of people had COVID, and it was just like, oh, this person touched. Everyone was just paranoid. I was like, all right, we gotta move the shooting weekend like twice, and then it happened again in 2021. I was just like, man, but it also gave me more time to prepare.
Right.
So it
worked out fairly good.
Well.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was tough, but I mean, I was just grateful that I was being able to make something. Yeah.
Have you ever had like a hard adversity situation come your way whenever, like in life in general, not necessarily related with like movies and stuff like that?
Not too much yet. I mean, my filmmaking career has only been like 6 years. I had some family members pass away while we were shooting the movie, and that was kind of tough. But besides that,
how did that affect you emotionally and mentally?
well, yeah. Well, when I was in Mexico, I was filming my grandpa. Like I didn't tell him I was filming, but I was just filming him
Yeah.
because I had a feeling that it was gonna be the last time. I was just like, I just have a feeling it's gonna be the last time I see him. And then yeah, a couple months later he passed away. But I had I still have footage of him, so I'm gonna make a short later on, or make it into a full length movie. Like it's probably gonna be like a 20-year thing. But I mean it sucked, but I was like, I think it kind of helped, helped me cope with it, knowing that I had footage of him.
Yeah, yeah. So do you ever use some of that feelings and emotions as like creative energy or juices to like inspire you to write the next thing, or?
Yeah, I think everything I write is like that. But also too, it's I realize that with the position I'm in, especially with like being Hispanic, so you can tell a lot of interesting stories.
Yeah.
I feel like with our culture, so I use that a lot, kind of those aspects. Yeah.
So were you the first Hispanic like throughout your year, or were that trio? Did y'all start the same year?
I don't know if I was the first, man. I think there were some, but I think as far as trio wise, yeah, there was. We could have been the first. I don't know. UCA is kind of a big school, so there's a lot of students there. Especially the film program keeps growing, so I can't keep track.
Yeah.
No, we had a lot of fun.
And like with filming and all, that's interesting because you also mentioned that some of your ULR teachers or UALR teachers made you watch a lot of YouTube. What made you decide going to like actual film school and starting your own like trial and error on YouTube? Like, just do.
Well, I never really used YouTube. Like, of course, there's you could really just learn everything about film on YouTube, but it was more so just doing all the assignments, them handing you a camera. That's just how I figured it out. But they did. You say they didn't do it as much at first. They were kind of like, oh, you gotta, the typical PowerPoint where you gotta know what A, B, and C is, and
Yeah.
and then we give you a camera once you know the fundamentals. But that takes a while.
Right. And I guess because mainly your passion was on filmmaking, like, it started since you were a kid, going to the movie theaters
Yeah.
and just catching people's attention. Which, I guess, what's your main goal when writing a movie and just directing and all? What's your hopes for people to get out of it?
That part I'm still trying to figure it out. It's I think though is my main goal really is I'm really fascinated with our culture, not just Mexican culture, but just Latino culture in general, and the things you can do with it in film. I mean, and I think at least my job when I'm done, however far I go is to investigate, the problems, not necessarily talk about issues, but kind of like shed some light and do it in a different way. But yeah, I think investigating culture is what is kind of what fuels me, or it's like that's what I want to do. That's what even if it still confuses people, me knowing that I'm trying,
Yeah.
is what I get out of it.
No, but after you finished like high school, did you always knew you wanted to go to college, or?
Dude, no, it was it was am I speaking loud enough?
You
Yeah,
good.
I think so.
You
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, like if I'm being honest, like all of high school I kind of half-assed, and then I was like, I don't want to go to college. And then literally it was so weird. I was like, I'll go to 2-year, get a 2-year degree or something.
Yeah, go to Pulaski or
And
something.
then I remember the day, like I didn't even invite my friend over. He kind of just busted the doors open and is like, no, you need to apply Euler, bro. And I was like, bro, I didn't even coming over. So he's like, no, you need to apply Euler. And
Why so aggressive?
he was very aggressive. At least when I think of it, I was like, yeah, if it wasn't for my old friend, like
Yeah.
I would have just, I don't know, things would have changed.
Yeah.
He's
No, like where do you think you would be at doing like
oh, dude, I mean, I probably would have been like working at a flipping burgers or something.
are you like the typical like Hispanic person like where your dad takes you to where whatever they're
That's
doing?
what it was. That's what my story was going to be. I'm not kidding.
Which is not bad. I mean,
It's not bad, but it's just
no, you're not following your dreams.
I realized that and at that time too, I didn't realize it until I went to UCA. And I just also it was just kind of one of those things where I had a friend that was going to UCA. He transferred from ULA to UCA, and he's like, "Come, you should come to UCA."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I want to go because this dude's cool." And it's just like, I didn't think things through, but I was like, "Yeah, they have a good film program." And then once I got attached to the film program, it was like, man, I fell in love with everything. Like life is just amazing. Like great people. They were like, when you surround yourself around driven people, it just changes you. And I was like around people that like wanted, stuff done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, and then really it was then when I was just like, okay, I need to take this seriously. So that was kind of the start of it. But no, I didn't really know. To answer your question, I didn't know what I was gonna be. I never wanted to be.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a filmmaker growing up. Like I had camcorders and stuff, but I didn't know I had the potential to be that. And I never wanted to call myself that too, because I felt that you needed to have like your movie. I thought short films didn't qualify you as a filmmaker.
I was gonna ask you that. When was the first time you like started playing with the camera, messing around, recording?
So it was like when we were first in Arkansas. Like we lived in this like this half house, and my parents got this like really crappy camcorder, and they're like, we bought this because we're gonna go back to California for vacation. So I was like, okay. So I was just playing around with it. I didn't know. I was just zooming in and out. I didn't know what I was doing, and I would just like film myself, and then my dad was just kind of filming the family. We lost those files, but I started doing like I had this obsession with Transformers when the first one came out.
Yeah.
Like that was just, when I saw that movie, it just blew my mind. So when I started, buying a lot of Transformer toys, and I would film like me playing with the Transformer toys. I would just talk about the toys. I don't know why. It wasn't like a review video.
Bro, you were like Ryan's World.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
You know that, bro? He's like this little kid on
like
YouTube makes like $20 million
a year just reviewing
well,
toys.
It was just like really bad lighting. I would just play with them and be like pew pew pew, like, and then I was just like, okay, the camera died. I guess I just gotta stop filming. But I never like actually made a movie until one day my cousins they moved to Arkansas, and
were your cousins the cousins we know,
no,
or
different cousins.
Okay.
So they were crashing at our place, and we were just bored, and we had the camcorder, and we're like, and I also loved Final Destination at the time. I was obsessed with two things: Transformers and Final Destination. So I was like, let's just make our own Final Destination movie. So we made it with my cousins, and it was like so bad. It was so bad. But eventually all of us died because that's Final Destination. I remember somebody died because someone farted and they just couldn't take it, so they just like collapsed.
Yeah.
And that was like my legit first movie, and I can't find it anywhere. I think it was like in some old computer somewhere, and then we sold it on eBay. I don't know. Something happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
That was my first movie, and
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty proud of it. I don't know who edited it though. I have no clue. I might have done it, but I know that it's somewhere in the zeitgeist. I don't know. And then those were like, I don't know what happened to that camcorder, but those were like the early things that I worked on.
So what has you excited for the future now that you're almost done with your movie?
I say almost done, and I've been saying that for the last year. But this week I'm actually shooting like two more shots. It's an insert shot of like a hand grabbing something because I need it. It's like a very big plot point. But after that, like I'm really excited because I'm gonna be submitting to some festivals that hopefully I get into. I got rejected from all the big ones, but the movie wasn't done, so really it was stupid. I wasted money for Like you should just never submit your movie to festivals when it's not done because
Yeah.
it looks like crap. And I spent like so much money.
Oh, really? How much does it cost?
Man, for these big festivals, it's like you gotta write a letter. It's like $110.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just too much money. But festivals are a scam. That's one thing. But that's a talk for another day. But yeah, the thing that got me more excited about it is we're going to this Latino market. Hopefully, if we get in, we can sell our movie, talk to some industry people, and I really hope to sell it. Like I think it's gonna be a good start, or at least establishing relationships with some
Networking.
Yeah, networking. You know,
How do you go to this event? So you go like in a suit and
someone recommended it. We were on a Zoom call with some producer, guy from Spain, really cool dude. And he was just like, "Hey, you should sign up for this thing. It's gonna happen." I didn't know about it, and I looked it up. I was like, "Oh my god! Like, I wish I would have known about this." But that's how he told us about it. So we applied, and we're just kind of waiting to see if your project has to get in. But
Yeah.
I'm confident that it gets in. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then I'll cry for 2 days. Probably eat some ice cream.
Yeah.
Then
We'll take you
Then go for a
downtown.
you know what? If I don't get in, I'm just gonna drive to California anyways and just. Like,
is that where the film festival?
I think it's in California, but I think I'm just gonna show up and
Go
just
and crash it, bro.
I'm gonna act like I got in, so I'm just gonna like.
When is this?
I think it's in August.
Oh, I was like, I'm trying to think. Am I still gonna be having my free time in August? If not, I'll go with you.
Oh, you're down, man. Let's
No, I don't know about that. Yeah,
Road trip to Cali?
Road trip to Cali.
Cali. I mean, probably can't go to the beach or anything. It's just I gotta go.
No, no. Our mission will be sell your movie to the highest bidder.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, dude. I mean, it could be one of those things where I just hope to get some things moving on it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hopefully,
Absolutely.
get some, if not offers, just talk to some companies that might be interested.
Right.
Because distribution, which is the last phase of film,
Mm-hmm.
Selling it,
Marketing and all that
just
stuff.
where you're gonna distribute it,
Mhm.
it's like honestly, it is the hardest part of filmmaking. I think financing and distributing it is like the two like the hardest things, and they don't talk about that stuff in film school.
Yeah.
Right, because you can have like the most epic, like movie with the right script, right edited, and everything. But like if you don't have some like the ears to listen to like what your movie is about or get in front of the right person, then like you may not get discovered in that way.
Yeah, man, especially in today's world, it is so competitive. It's so competitive that it's like you're not even. I think most people aren't even aware of that.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to post your movies on Facebook and do all this thing, but man, it's just there's so many filmmakers out there that want to make it. It's just like I think the way to kind of just get through all that noise is just to educate yourself on the industry and what the trades are. That's the best way to move your chess piece on the board.
Yeah.
Like you don't. Now we live in a world now where you don't have to be the most talented. It's like you just.
Who do you know? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
who you
It's
know,
all about
who's the smartest really. I mean, if you can get from point A to point B,
It's about the relationships you establish with some people.
yeah,
That's where it gets you
it's
in
all
the-
relationships really.
It gets you in the door. It's like, oh, I really like how this person interacts and their vibe and everything else. Then like, oh yeah, let's give that person a shot.
Yeah, it's got to be prudent and cautious. There's a lot of people who can really screw you over.
For sure, yeah. Especially
like-
in filmmaking.
Yeah, no. I mean, making a movie is one thing, but really just selling it and getting it to the finish line
Yeah.
is another thing too. Yeah, it's just tough.
Have you ever thought about doing like short clips on TikTok? Trying to branch yourself out there?
Recently, I don't care about promoting myself at all. It's more so just like the brand, because I'm starting. I'll come back to the TikTok thing. It was like the brand. It's this name. It's not my name, but it's just like Marshmallow or something. Like it's just this, and that's gonna be the brand I push. And I'm the creator, but you don't need to know who I am. It's
Right.
just It's just this.
And
name.
what's your brand's name?
It's gonna be called Solo Daño. That's the first name for I'll see if it works or not.
Like only damage in English?
Yeah, I came up with it one day when I was running. I was just like, all right, I'll just go with this.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
so it'd be like Solo Daño Productions.
no, it'll just be Solo Daño,
Oh.
or it might change. So we'll see how year one goes. It's not public yet. Like I haven't. I'm planning on making the
LLC or what?
at some point. Yeah, probably not for the first 2 years, because people probably won't be paying you.
Yeah.
For, and also I don't with the LLC I got to be careful too, because I don't want to do like weddings and stuff. I just want it to be like music videos.
Okay.
That's it, and commercials. But to go back to the TikTok thing, yeah, I have thought about that. It's for promoting this. I think it's really valuable. There's this one guy named Jim Cummings who was like, you should promote your movie on TikTok and do these like teasers. And it's just like, it's genius too, because there's a lot of eyeballs on TikTok.
Yeah, and a lot of people like blew up on TikTok.
Yeah, I have some ideas, but I have to run it with my producers. Just like, for one, it's like having like stop motion animations we have, and just doing that on the TikTok, so people are like, oh cool, that's what is that? Yeah. And that's part of the narrative. That's just like, the one of the actors flipping the pages and it reveals, parts of the movie. So doing little things like that, but it's more so TikTok for like the things I'm producing in the future, and the TV show that I want to do. Definitely using that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
For sure. Like I've heard TikTok, I've heard Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit too.
Yeah.
And even like Pinterest. I've heard Pinterest too, because you're like, what? But there's a lot of people on there, and you do so you play the game and you get a couple followers on your page. So I'm game.
So what's a Mount Everest you feel like you already climbed, a goal that you already accomplished that you're proud of?
Mount Everest, it's never ending, but
That's the name of the movie? No.
No, it's definitely at least just making. I feel like I'll climb that Mount Everest, hopefully this year. If I sell this movie, I'm just like, I can die in peace. Like I could get shot the next day, and I'll be like, you know what? Like I'll be dying, and like at least I sold this movie. I'm just happy. Like that's all I wanted. I mean, making one is one thing, but if nobody sees it, like what's the
Yeah.
what's the point?
Right.
I want to get on Hulu, Amazon.
Yeah.
Really, the go-to is HBO Max. Screw Netflix.
Really?
Screw Netflix. It's HBO Max. HBO Max or Apple TV.
Okay.
Is it Apple Plus?
No, I think it's Apple Plus. Yeah. No Amazon Prime.
No, because Amazon doesn't pay the filmmakers. They don't pay them anything. There's two kinds of Amazons. There's the one where you can just slap your movie on there, like you pay some middleman, and you could just rent the movie. Or there's the one where you're like on the Amazon streaming service, where you just like
Yeah.
But to get in that position is already tough enough, and I just don't think some of these streaming services, they don't pay the filmmakers at all. Like they pay them pennies, so it's just not even
Worth it.
It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
But people like companies like HBO, Apple right now, they're really pushing more diverse voices and whatnot. So I mean, HBO literally has like a Latinx section, and they're trying to get more Latino voices, and they actually support more independent films, from what I've seen. I mean, somebody might call me out and say that's not true, but
No, but going in the future, do you plan on staying here in Arkansas, or you want to move somewhere else that's bigger?
That's the goal, man.
Or do you want to make Arkansas big?
No, so I want to stay here as long as I can, at least for like the next 10 to 15 years, because I think it's really important for me to build something here and build a community and help. Because it just doesn't make sense for me to go to the big cities like LA, even Atlanta. I mean, I would if I were to go anywhere, it'd probably be Atlanta.
Yeah.
Or like I don't need to mention any more of the big cities, but because it's just like you're competing with like a billion filmmakers.
Right.
Like, bro. It's just, if I'm thinking that I'm gonna go over there and take over, or like,
You need to take over here
or
first.
it's just not take over. I think that's kind of aggressive. But I mean, it's just like it's really hard to stand out
No,
in a
well,
place
yeah.
that's like
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
oversaturated.
Right.
with-
You need to get yourself known
Yeah,
here
it's just
first
like-
and build that community and the people rally behind you before you move into like a bigger market.
For sure. I mean, even all the stories that I'm writing are just oriented around Arkansas. Like the TV show I'm doing is, I want to do it all in Little Rock. Like I just want to get help from everyone else, but I'm not going anywhere. Like it has to be in Little Rock. And I think that kind of speaks for itself. I think there's power in like, you being within your community and just building what's already there. But yeah, it takes more than one. Like more people need to do it. But a lot of people that graduate, they just leave.
Really?
They just dip. They're like, dude, Arkansas is. And I'm just like, no, man, y'all need to stay. It's like, but no, they just leave. And then they always end up coming back.
Oh, really? Interesting.
So yeah, I was just like, no, I was like, why would I leave? I'll just stay here and see what happens. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Do you get offended whenever you get try to get like I did earlier? I'm sorry if I offended you. If you like get compared to like a YouTuber, or like why don't you try the YouTube thing?
No, it's just I think we talked about this a little bit last week.
Yeah.
Like I would love to do the YouTube thing, but I just don't. And I will with the Solo Daniel thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like, at least for me, I feel like I have to fully commit, like post, once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it might be, but for the people who make good income doing it, it just, with YouTube, it's weird. You can mow grass and people watching you mow grass and you can make money. But
I mean,
I
they
don't
made
know,
a
for
video
what I'm-
game out of it.
For what I'm doing, it's like, I don't know. I just don't see me doing it anytime soon.
Okay.
I would have to post frequently, and I don't do that, and I wouldn't want to do that, cause like,
You want to be more exclusive?
not exclusive. No, it's just like, for me, I feel like for YouTube you have to commit 100%. You cannot half-ass YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's people who do, but I feel like I would half-ass it. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, oh man, I really gotta post. If I don't post 2 months, and you gotta build that fan base. But
Right.
YouTube is so important, man. It's so overlooked too with filmmakers.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, I'll come around it soon enough. I feel like when I have enough material and I get things sorted out.
What's one thing that's scaring you and stopping you from really just taking over, even though it's a bit aggressive, but like just going all in?
Taking over as in,
The world, just like Solo Daniel just being the next Paramount or whatever.
oh no, I think with that, it's just gonna be like something to keep me busy. Like I don't want to like, it's just kind of to show my work, just music videos, and not necessarily producing like full scale like productions.
Okay.
'Cause that's different, and I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with the taxes and all this stuff. So I just,
Or maybe you don't want to burn yourself out.
yeah,
already.
no, it's not it's just like something fun. Like let's see how it goes. But no, I don't have any aspirations for like a production company or like nothing like that.
Okay, I gotcha. So what's stopping you from fully fulfilling your dreams?
Myself. Yeah, I mean right now.
How do you kind of overcome like yourself?
I'm in a good position right now. Just like with this movie, hopefully what I can do with it, and if I do it, I could get the TV show running, but that'll take a little bit. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just gotta. If I don't try every day to get to that next thing, or put in the work, then I'm just gonna be left behind. So
Yeah, for sure. What would be like some words of inspiration to anyone who's maybe listening to you, who like kind of were like kind of
oh no.
kind of like you didn't know what to do at first, and then you little by little started finding your passion, and what has motivated you throughout this past couple of years?
Well, it's like going back to the half-assing thing. Like, if you're gonna half-ass something, then you might as well not even do it. Like, it's just not worth it. And my mom told me this too, a couple years ago when I was actually at Euler. She's like, David, like, she was looking at me like this, squinting her eyes. It's like, do you want it, or do you kind of want it? It's like, cause right now it looks like you kind of want it. It looks like you're not. If you're kind of just half-assing it, like, it's not even worth it. And I was just like, dang. I was like, at first I was just like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. I'm all in. And I wasn't all in, man. But yeah, I would say that you need to be 100% committed. And you need to find, even if you don't have the discipline to do it, you need to build the discipline from scratch. And then you will get to where you want to get. You just gotta work on the fundamentals. You know, stamina being one of them, especially in film. Like, bro, if you don't have stamina, you're done.
And when you say that, what do you mean? Like
it's just like, you know, especially when you're prepping for a movie, it just takes so much out of you. And then once you're actually shooting, you know, you're doing like 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And just getting through that, and, you know, having so many egos on set, and like talking to so many different departments.
And when you say when you say having so many egos on set, were you like talking about like the actors or just like the producers?
Egos maybe just has like a bad connotation to it, but like ego in general, just like so many personalities on set. So just balancing everything, and it's tough, and then finishing a movie, I think, is the hardest thing. Like getting it edited, getting it in the can, all the legal stuff too.
Yeah.
And it scares me. But
do you have any like final words for us, or any questions about us?
I got some questions for you guys. We all can answer. Y'all up for it?
For sure.
Here lately, we've been doing a
little
section called Willis Questions.
Yeah, I like putting out some either meaningful questions, funny questions, something we can all talk about and just share. You ready? If you could change anything about your past, would you, and what would it be?
If anything I could change about my past, I think it would be like just being more open to having other options that maybe not be like the main idea, but it was still working towards that same goal. Because sometimes I used to be so narrow-minded that if it wasn't that, then I didn't want it, which in a way I feel like it harmed me, and also just sort of being more disciplined towards working in my dreams and what I wanted to do, if that makes any sense. So like whenever I was younger, I wanted to play college soccer at a obviously big day one school, and at a camp, one of the coaches like approached me, and you know, maybe like school he was coaching at that time for, it wasn't like the biggest school, but he was like, maybe you'd be interested in coming to my school, or he was like, it'd be cool if you come and visit or something like that. And then he mentioned like, or are you just interested in this school? I was like, no, I'm just interested in this school. And he was like, oh, I understand. And like it kind of died on, you know, like not being open to other options that may lead to the same road. But I think that, and just being more open-minded and not. I feel like when I was younger, I had like a bit of an ego to me, and that probably like harmed myself and thinking that I can do everything instead of getting for help or asking for help. That's what I would change about me.
Ego? Okay, I guess for me it's I don't know, maybe just like leaving the room to stop playing, put the controller down and go outside, go for a walk, do some more exercise. And just enjoy the world, It's a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
It's kind of hard being like grateful when you're young, when everything's like given to you,
Right,
first generation kids, your parents, they give you everything. So you just feel like they built your comfort zone, or they help aid that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know if I was given everything, but like, in a way. Maybe because I thought I needed to earn everything myself. Whenever like a help came my way, I kind of like shut it down.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, yeah. I mean, everyone's different, but
Yeah.
I guess one thing I would change about my past or anything is I wish I was more open to like friendships or people, because I was like very shy. I wasn't. Yes, I was outgoing, but I was like more like close to myself. I was like in my own little world. Obviously, I had my friend groups and all, but like just branching out to like different friends, different people, and just built friendships with other people. I guess you can say networking, you know.
mm-hmm.
Because I feel like growing up, I didn't have that, or I didn't do that. Especially like too when I was in college, I was that person that would put my headphones on, go to class, you know, just go schoolwork, do my stuff, and then go back out. You know, I wouldn't like talk to people. I wouldn't like be that open person and make new friends. Cause I don't know, I I guess you could say I hated making new friends. So I just wanted to be with myself or just be in my own little friend group. You know, I don't know if you guys experienced that, but or it might have been just me.
No, yeah, I think we'll all get at a point like we get comfortable, as David was saying, and we're like happy where we're at,
Yeah.
and kind of like we were saying before, we said before, like growth comes out of your comfort zone. So
But yeah, too, it's like maybe being that shy, it teaches you a lot, and also now that you're older, you're like, I don't want to,
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that. So it's a cool sort of experience once you start getting out of that. I mean,
Right.
getting out of your comfort zone, out of that your own circle, that it's okay to kind of branch out.
Yeah.
for sure.
So the next question says, "Who was your first celebrity crush?"
That's a hard one, bro. I don't know. Optimus Prime. Hey.
Don't lie, it was Megan Fox.
No, dude. I like as a kid, yeah, it was there, but I just like, bro, them robots were dope. That's all I cared about.
I guess mine would have been Hilary Duff on that show, Lizzie McGuire. I just thought she was pretty cute.
I'm trying to remember that show.
Or either that or what's her name? Zoe
Yeah, I
101.
was gonna say Zoe 101 too. I know she's Britney Spears' little sister. That's all I know.
Jamie Spear. I
Yeah.
think that's her
That was a
name.
good show.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Those were all great shows.
Yeah.
I'll probably be Miranda Cosgrove on Drake and Josh. When she was a little kid and then growing up watching her on iCarly.
Really? I'm glad you said that because
Yeah.
whenever we have her on the podcast, we're
Bro,
gonna be
oh.
calling you out.
Oh man. You see that they like made a new one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reboot of iCarly.
It's like with
yeah,
now they curse.
yeah,
and they
another
drink
old.
beer.
Yeah,
Wow. Isn't that
Oh,
crazy?
how do you know that?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's.
I watched like 2 episodes of it, but yeah, I saw the reboot of it.
It looks. I don't know. I'm just like it's not.
Yeah, it's
It's not
different.
the same,
yeah.
man. But
All right, so the next one is: if you could relive any moment in your life, would you and which one? I guess for me, like a moment I would relive, like the past, whatever was when we used to live in Michigan. I think I've said it before in another podcast. Like the question was different, but I would definitely relive those moments we lived in Michigan because it was probably one of the best childhoods I ever had. Because where we lived at, or the people that we stayed at, they lived in front of a lake. So like every summer we would like go out with the boat, jet ski, swim. It was a really nice neighborhood. And like my 5th birthday party was probably like the best birthday party I've ever had.
That's
So,
the best birthday party I ever been to.
So that's probably one of the best and something I would probably want to relive again, which definitely my childhood in Michigan was a lot of fun.
What about you, David?
Man, I'm thinking hard, bro. I'm just sweating. I don't know. I mean, the first thing that came to mind, though, I will be honest, is like once I sell this movie,
Yeah.
that will be.
The greatest
Yeah.
moment in
I
your
don't
life.
care about the screening, really. It's just like once I know it has a home, like, the whole champagne bottles for me.
I think for me, kind of like you, not necessarily like kind of like the same, but whenever we're able to First of all, the reason why we do this podcast is in hopes to people get inspired and also follow their dreams and by listening to our friends who we have over, but in ways that we can also reach a lot of people where we can actually make this an actually sustainable job that's full time. I think that would be like the greatest moment that I would like to relive. But as far as right now, I think I think just having a family. I think I'm grateful for that, but that was not the question. Oh, no, I think fi- getting my first engineering job. I think that was like I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was just like a side of like relief, and I think if there's a moment I would relive, I think it would definitely be that.
All right, and the next question is, what's the hardest lesson you have ever had to learn?
Uh, you just gotta make your bed every day. That's it. Or to expand on that, if you're having a bad day, like just go to sleep, make your bed the next day, and it's a new day. I guess learning to just like every day is new, and keep going forward, sort of thing.
Absolutely. What was the question again? Like, what was the hardest
What's
lesson?
the hardest lesson you've ever learned?
I think the hardest lesson I ever had to learn is just like don't take everything for granted. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the experience, good, bad, or however how good or how bad it's going. Um, enjoy the moment where you're at because those are never gonna be like you may not ever get them back. And at that moment you may be thinking about things you wish you had or things you wish you didn't had, rather than just enjoying the moment with the people who you are, because sometimes whether we make good decisions or bad decisions, those are the decisions that make us who we are. And yeah, enjoy the moment and don't take anything for granted.
I'll probably be don't procrastinate. That's
Facts, big time.
a big thing. I feel like a lot of people deal with or struggle with is just procrastinate and putting stuff to the side. They're like, oh, I'll do it later, But obviously, that's gonna come back and bite you in the butt, and that's probably one of the biggest lessons.
Like doing laundry.
Yeah.
Hey, pause up, man. You got no underwear. You're like, dang. Gotta do laundry now.
This is the last question that I have for the night, and it's a little of a confession question.
Ay, ay, ay.
No sé si quieren you want to answer or not, but it is.
We're not gonna be singing, are we?
No. It's who was your first kiss with, and did you enjoy it?
Oh, we don't have to say names, right?
No.
Well, he said with.
Well, I mean, you can if you want, but
well, actually, I don't remember the name, so that's great. I put my hand on the Bible. I don't remember the name. I guess it was like elementary school, I think. I don't remember.
Mhm. How'd it go? You just went for it, or she went for it? Yeah.
I don't remember too much. I just remember it being the first kiss. I think it was like at the school or yeah. It's like some classroom or something.
Yeah, I still haven't had my first kiss.
Nah.
He said nah. I don't remember. I don't know who it was. I'm sure I enjoyed it. Like you're excited, like cool, it's first kiss, but I can't. What about you, Willie?
I would say. Oh, hold on. Let me move this real quick.
Well, confession.
I guess if you're talking technically like dating wise, it was 8th grade. Me and my girl at that time, we was walking out.
Say a name.
I'm not saying a name.
Keep it spicy.
Yeah, bro.
We
Definitely
kept
not saying anything.
Throw some chips in there.
Come on now.
Huh?
We kept it pretty dull. I think
you say no names.
I don't remember.
We don't remember. I don't remember.
I mean, if you would have said third kiss, fourth,
What's your third kiss then?
that's different. The question was first. If we do third, we all have to start over again.
So what's your third kiss? I'm just kidding. My first kiss was with this girl named Shakota. She was my girlfriend at that time.
Oh yeah.
George's eye. But yeah, we kissed. I think we was leaving school and like where all the buses was at, and like I guess I just went for it, like literally in front of everybody, like teachers, students, and everything.
Ballsy, my God.
Pretty sure, yeah, that was like the first kiss. Tell you, if we're talking about dating wise, that was her. But if we're talking about when I was like a little kid back in Michigan, I hope they don't listen to this, but it was this girl named Heidi, and we were little, and we were playing around. I don't know what we were doing. And we went to my parents' bedroom or whatever, and she was, I think we were playing hide and seek or something like that. And she was in like my parents' bedroom, and like I found her, and I went down there and saw her, and then like she just like went for it, and then I went for it, and then we just kissed.
Nice, cute little kiss.
Yeah, so I mean,
Got the job done.
Did you enjoy it?
I mean, I was little, so I guess I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
But those are all the questions I have for tonight.
Yo, thank you so much for coming on, David. If someone would want to come like and reach out to you, what would be the best way they can reach out to you?
The only social that I'm really active in is Instagram. So it's just at Yego Oifilm. LLEGOFILM.
Repeat that again.
At Yego Oifilm.
Yego, and that's your
Yego Oi.
Yego.
Yeah, so LLEGOHOY.
And that's your next. That's your movie, right? That's coming out.
I don't have a personal. I deleted all my personal stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a movie.
Cool. And we'll be sure to put it on the
Description.
on the description and everything else. And thank you so much for coming, bro. You guys be sure to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And always be sure to share a smile, because you never know if that's gonna lead to a deeper connection with someone you already know, or make a stranger a new friend.
Other than that, y'all have a good week and see you.
Bye.